I love Stevie Wonder, but that's get on eBay, CD, double CD, and just listen, and you will love him because that's how good he is. He's like the Beatles, he's like Madonna, he's like Cher, he's like the Rolling Stones, you know,
in that he can see.
Hello, welcome to Believe. I'm Phil Green.
And I'm David Ferguson.
And this is a podcast about the world's craziest mysteries and conspiracy theories. And today is a musical one, baby.
Oh, it's musical. It's not our first musical episode. We've already done that, but this is a musical.
This is our first musical episode we've done where someone hasn't either died or been replaced.
That's true?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, but how do we know that he wasn't replaced?
Well, that's also true.
Or
yeah.
she wasn't replaced.
Or she, yeah. Who knows?
Or they.
I mean, they know it's in the title of the podcast they've clicked on. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. We're doing a live show, aren't we?
Oh my gosh, we're doing a live show. Yes, I'm very excited about it in a wonderful venue, the Bedford in Balham, and that's on the 15th of June.
Yes, we're going to be doing two shows back to back. We're going to have two fantastic guests covering two fantastic conspiracies. It is one ticket price, though. There's a link in the bio. Just go on there, bring your friends. It's going to be a hell of a good night, isn't it?
Yes, because it's always fun. It's always nice to meet the crazy people.
Yes,
because there's always crazy people in the audience, and there's me. I'm crazy.
But it will be fun.
It will be fun. We always have a great time, and they're always so much better than we think they're going to be, and we always think they're going to be great. So
yes, exactly. Also, you can follow us on social media. If you like this podcast, where can they do that?
They can do it all over the place in social media, such places as YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Blue Sky when it gets up and running, because I still haven't sorted it out.
And where could that? What's the handle?
And our handle is BelievePod.
It's where you get in contact with us. Let us know what you think about the myths, mysteries, and conspiracies we've been talking about. We want to know. Also, you can email us, believeconspiracypod@gmail.com. Tell us what you'd like us to cover on this podcast, and we will do that for you. Each week, we invite in a guest. That guest has picked a myth, mystery, or conspiracy they want to talk about, and then we find facts and figures from the internet, and then we try to prove it, debunk it, or neither, because quite honestly, we are in no way experts on anything, are we?
No, we're just comedians.
Yeah, just comedians. Now, I'm going to be doing some previews of my latest stand-up show. If you would like to come and see that, please do. I'm going to be in Manchester, Watford, Buxton, Shaftesbury, Newcastle, Durham, and Camden. So you'll find links for all of that in the bio, and also on my website, which is philgoodcomedy.com. You're going to be doing some previews as well, and you're going to be going to Edinburgh.
I am going to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival.
Yes.
I finally got it all confirmed, but I just...
We'll tell you about that very soon.
Yes.
It's going to be very exciting.
Yes.
It's a very exciting time. Now, George is pumped.
He is.
Absolutely.
He is. Oh, look at his wee face.
Yeah, very excited about it. He is. Can't wait. And who is today's fantastic guest?
He's one of the most beautiful men I've ever met. It's Nathan Darcy Roberts.
Take that offensively. Nathan Darcy Roberts is an award-winning stand-up, screenwriter, and actor. He is a distinct comic voice. Nathan has twice been nominated for the BBC New Comedy Award and awarded the BBC's prestigious Felix Dexter Bursary. He's written for Trying on Apple TV, Famalam on BBC Three, The Emily Atack Show, Horrible Histories, Lagging, The Lenny Henry Show, The Now Show, The News, just loads of stuff, basically.
Yeah.
He's an excellent performer and an excellent writer. He's also the co-host of the wonderful podcast, There Will Be Film, which, to be honest with you, sometimes this podcast veers into film.
Yeah. That's the one with Heidi Regan, isn't it?
That's the one with so-called Australian Heidi Regan, one of our former guests.
She wasn't Australian.
No, she's not an Australian, not a real one. And what is the myth, mystery, or conspiracy that Nathan has chosen?
Well, it's a visionary one. Stevie Wonder can see.
Stevie Wonder can see. Let's bring on Nathan.
Get out of the rabbit hole.
It's a fake. Every single bird in the sky is a robot.
It's fiction.
Doubt your government.
It's an urban legend.
If they're actually spraying something in the sky?
No way.
A stream of absurdity.
It's a total fabrication.
Welcome to the podcast, Nathan Darcy Roberts!
He's so pretty. He's so pretty.
One of the few guests we had to remove the cushions for.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Leave his cushions on the seat.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I thought it was more like a dampness thing.
I see.
Your
Okay.
own personal cushions.
Hey, no, we generally just bring damp people in, but we know when he's very dry, he's going to be fine.
I'm absorbent. I will suck up
yeah.
anything. I want that to be known, just straight
Yeah.
away. Just I will suck up anything.
And that's actually what we put in your intro. Nathan Darcy Roberts, highly absorbent.
Better than Bounty.
Better than Bounty. Yeah,
Plenty.
absolutely.
It's plenty now, isn't it?
How have you been?
Good.
Good. You writing stuff?
I am. I'm working on a couple of scripts at the moment that are, I think, good.
Yeah.
The thing when you write a script, like what happens is you go into it and you think like, I think this is really good, and I actually think I might be a genius. I'm a genius. And then you send it out, and people either go like, not for us, or you never hear from that person again. They just stop existing to you.
Yeah.
It's a fun industry.
Yeah, it's nice that, isn't it? Especially when you work your ass off over months and months and months.
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
something.
bleed into it. Like I remember I wrote this bit for stand-up gig, and I thought this is going to be what I'm renowned for, and it has never ever worked. And I've done it, and people have just looked back at me and went, do you need help? Like it's just so I love that feeling of yes, this is the greatest thing, and then it isn't.
Also, you never get like the payoff. I think that's the weird thing with writing. Like with filmmaking in general, like this becomes collaborative. You make something, you get to be on set, you're in the edit booth, you have the premiere. It's lovely. But when like you're just in the script stage, you work so hard. You write the script, and the peak is you press enter on your keyboard.
Yeah.
You just send an email, and you just everything's the same.
Yeah.
Everything's exactly the same.
There's no direct feedback like in stand-up. You've got no idea.
Also,
how good it
like
is.
rush of endorphins. That's the thing that you want, like the celebration.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
I just have something new in my outbox.
Do you prefer filmmaking to doing stand-up? What's your sort of, or is it just different?
They're totally different. Yeah, I think they both feed into each other. I think like because stand-up you do get an immediate feedback. And it helps you to develop your voice, and it does quiet that little part of the brain that might trick you into thinking you're an undiscovered genius. You know, like when you write a
Quite
script,
regularly.
you need to be humbled.
Yeah,
You need to be humbled
yeah.
frequently.
I think we all get humbled at least once a week. I think, and that's a nice thing. It's a lovely-
100%. Sometimes on stage, sometimes in the real world.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. People just shout you in the street. Yeah.
It's necessary. You need to be humbled. Yeah. I think that's what the Kendrick song is about. It's about the open mic circuit.
Yeah.
Let's be humble.
That's right. He's really scratched the surface there. There's cutting lyrics. You do the podcast. There will be film.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good because you're obviously a big film person.
Big film boy with Stuart Laws and Heidi Regan.
Yep.
Very
So-called
funny.
Australian Heidi Regan. who's been on
So-called
this podcast.
Australian.
Yeah. We had her on to see whether or not Australia existed.
And we were confirmed.
She was on the
that it
fence.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
it didn't
dubious.
exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've never been convinced about the accent. So.
Like the most famous Australian is Kylie Minogue. There is no debate in this. And she's never in Australia. What does that tell you?
That is true. The most famous Australians are rarely in Australia. Nicole Kidman, Nick Cave, Guy Pearce,
Yeah.
Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
Is Gibson in Australia? Has he been sort of like cast out?
Gibson is in LA most of the time, isn't he? Oh no, he's working for Trump now.
Actually,
Isn't he?
doesn't he live in that like that hole where Saddam Hussein was found?
Oh yeah, I think he does. Yeah. Which is quite apt actually. He's working for Trump now.
Yeah, so to what's their roles? Like they're sort of like the ambassadors of Hollywood.
Yeah.
With John Voight, although John Voight has kind of maybe single-handedly destroyed the entire industry by suggesting the tariffs.
Yeah. What I like is Trump goes, who are the worst people I can possibly get? The most unpopular people in the film industry, Gibson and John Voight.
Who are the most relevant men to the industry right now? Get me Midnight Cowboy and fucking the original Mad Max. It's insane.
Stallone's in there, isn't he? He's in the mix.
Stallone's in there, yeah.
Yeah. He's the one you're going to go, sort of, just about. But
the thing is, what I think that someone is missing a really big trick with Mel Gibson. Because, you know, we're in the age of sequels, in the age of franchises, IP, I would contribute to see a sequel to What Women Want.
Yes.
With Mel Gibson now.
Yes.
I want to see what this guy thinks women want. I want to be in his head. That would be incredible.
Do you know, I think that would be awesome because there was What Men Want, which was
There was a sequel?
And
really?
It's just is joyless. It's just not good.
Haunting. That's Reddit. That's you don't need to know that.
It isn't good. It isn't good. But it's like any of those, you know, sort of gender swap sequels. They kind of never work. Well, I'm looking forward to Ballerina, the John Wick specifically gender swap. I'm looking forward to that. But
have you ever rewatched What Women Want through 2025 eyes?
yes, because I think Helen Hunt
recommend
is
it.
so gorgeous in that film, and I love her as good as it gets. So it's like What Women Want is her glammed up and dressed perfectly, and then she fires Mel Gibson at the end of it, and it's a wonderful moment. And I thought so then, I think so now. Okay. But also like Helen Hunt, oh my God.
Weird. Helen Hunt, like you never see her anymore.
No.
Helen Hunt and Kim Basinger, two, I think they won Oscars sequentially and then just disappeared.
Yeah.
Wow. Because 90s, noughties, massive, and then just off the edge of a cliff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird.
I mean, LA
What have
Confidence-
they done? That's the question.
I think they just didn't want to be part of it anymore. You know, I mean, Helen Hunt really has, good as it gets, is one of my favorite performances. It's a woman who's a carer. It's in the medical. She's amazing in that.
Maybe working with Gibson was the turning point.
Well, I mean, she had a good time. Like famous lesbian Jodie Foster loves Mel Gibson. Like she was the one that gave him a film after all the controversy and all the anti-Semitic stuff that he said. You know, and because she's a loyal friend. But I feel like I'm defending Mel Gibson here, and I feel like
I like it. No, lean into
Yeah,
it. Lean
yeah.
Well, I would recommend if you've never heard it. There's a leaked clip of Mel Gibson, maybe like 10 years ago, maybe longer, maybe 15 years ago, in his like LA mansion, screaming at a writer, I believe maybe Joe Esterhaus, because he's behind on delivery of a script of something they were doing about the Maccabees.
Right.
It's a historical epic. And he is losing his mind. It's incredible. And it's filmed from a distance. So like, you're not like in the room. It's clearly someone's like 2 hallways down. Oh, wow. And you're just hearing him scream, "Where's my script for the Maccabee?" He has to take like a breath halfway through his scream rant. It's a work of art.
Better than the Christian Bale rant?
Oh, it's like, that's like comparing like a Godfather to Flubber.
Oh, wow.
It's,
Okay.
It's
Wow. That's a rant.
incredible.
I mean, what could be as good as Flubber?
Right?
Love Flubber.
It's flying rubber. Come on.
Yeah.
It writes itself.
Right, it does. It really does.
And my conspiracy is that I believe Flubber exists.
When Flubber came out and everyone went, "Oh, it's not one of Robin Williams' best films," and then you look at the later stage of his career, and I think it's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
Yeah.
No, I like Flubber. It's
I like
fun.
Flubber.
It's silly.
I've never gone back to it as an adult. I kind of do want to keep it clean because I loved it. I was so obsessed with it as a kid.
Yeah.
I rewatched The Page Master recently.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that? It was like a real VHS movie.
Yeah.
But I like those 90s films. They all have a real like mahogany hue to them.
Yes.
They're
Yeah.
really brown.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
They have a certain nostalgia look about them.
Yeah.
And if you were to use that look now, go, "Oh, that's the 90s." Like there really is a look to them. And I don't know whether it's the cameras they use or the lighting, but there is
But
definitely.
they're shooting on film and also like just the designs are, that's when like people had things. If you're like shooting on someone's house, that character would have antiques, I imagine, that they had inherited from their relatives.
Yeah.
And, like, everything's very like chic and like everyone buys new. They don't want to inherit stuff. So if you're shooting a house, it's going to look like a Big Little Lies house. Everything's like quite flat and colorless.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there is that whole thing of like, don't leave me your antiques. The antiques aren't a thing anymore. It's just the bottom's falling out. No one wants to look after your shit.
Yeah.
But what am I going to leave? Like my IKEA bedstand is boy. I've got nothing to leave.
Yeah.
The only thing I've got that's worth leaving is maybe my Criterion Collection DVDs, and I'm being buried with them. They are going with me.
If you're an undertaker watching this and you have to bury Nathan one day, take note. This is very important.
You'll never know.
You'll never know.
But then you'll get the curse.
Oh.
Like Tutankhamun, I want my casket to harbour a curse.
God, you've written the story of your own death.
Oh, I'm going beyond the grave. I know exactly what's happening.
Conspiracies, mysteries, that kind of stuff. What do you think about them?
I think, look, conspiracies, like some are true, some have to be true, but they're so flooded that, some are insane. I think they're fun.
Yeah.
I think they were a lot more fun like 15 years ago before politicians were like sort of like promoting
involved.
them.
Yeah.
And they sort of became into the mainstream. It's like
When YouTube was fun.
100%.
Yeah.
Conspiracy theories are like comic books. When it was just nerds and people on the internet, it was a blast.
Yeah.
But now it's destroying the world, and it's destroying everything I hold dear. So I think now it's tricky. But yeah, I like there are some conspiracies I believe, but I think the conspiracies I believe are the ones that are like obviously conspiracies.
Yeah.
Like there's almost been like double bluffed, things like JFK, Epstein. It's like there's clearly something going on, but we're just being very clearly gaslit because they're not even like trying to hide it. They're like messy.
No, we don't have the list for who Epstein's clients were.
I do, and that's what I wanted to bring in today.
Oh my God, Phil, can you
And
imagine?
again, it's been said.
Number one,
And he's being
David
buried with
Ferguson.
that.
Oh God, I wish. Do you think I'd be doing this if I was on Epstein's list? Like,
Sorry.
for the audio listener, Phil just spat everywhere. Tea, incidentally.
This is why you need the cushion.
Actually, if I had one cushion less, I probably wouldn't have projected it over the table.
That felt like you were like trying to silence him.
A little bit.
Like he's getting too close. Spit hot boiling liquid on him.
Oh, I love the work conspiracy mindset you're already in. You've been in the room 5 minutes.
And
it's
it did
brilliant.
change the subject.
You're like a sleeper cell. Like you were just activated like a Manchurian candidate.
Listen, we've been doing this podcast, I'll be honest with you, too long now. And it's really eating away in my memory. Yes. No, I agree with you. I agree with you on thanks to David's still cleaning. It's a beautiful thing. Thanks, George. No, I agree with you. So basically, what you mean is the ones that sort of bedded in a level of reality. So, okay. Yeah. And I think those are the ones that a lot of people do believe. Like, I think the JFK one is, and the more you read about it, the more you're like, oh yeah, that does make sense, actually.
Yeah.
There's so much. I mean, JFK as a film, we've said this on the podcast before, is completely inaccurate in many, many ways.
Yeah.
But the concept of it seems unlikely to be Lee Harvey Oswald, a lot of people are aligned with, I think. The evidence they present in the film is iffy, but there's so much other evidence we sort of think. Yeah,
There's a really, really good book. I've forgotten the name of the author, but it's called Best Evidence.
Yep.
And it was written by a guy who was an accountant, and he was going through the Warren report and going through like, you know, where the money went. And he's one of those guys. Warren report's like 900 pages. It's huge, and it's very dry and it's very in depth. And he was reading through it, and no one expected him to read the full thing. And he realized that statistically speaking, the amount of witnesses that have died that saw the JFK assassination is statistically impossible. And then he wrote a book called Best Evidence, and it's really hard, and it's also really hard to get that book now. But if you can get it from your library or you manage to win it on eBay for nothing, I thoroughly recommend it. It's a very deep dive. But it's not the only thing. Like there's another book, Chaos. It's about the Manson murders.
Oh, I heard about that. Yeah,
and that was a government. Manson would work for the government, like work for the US government. You know, those poor people, and particularly Sharon Tate, you know, were slaughtered for an agenda, and that's true.
What to like delegitimize the entire hippie movement?
That's it exactly.
Yeah,
that's it exactly. And the it was just, I mean, what happened to Sharon Tate? Like she was 9 months pregnant. And, it was meant to be a shocking. It was the end of the 60s. People talk about it being the end of the 60s, and that was a deliberate thing.
100%. Yeah, it killed it.
Yeah,
that, and I think there's an interesting, because I love 1969 as a period, because I do think that moment when you go from like, you know, free love and a wave of optimism to Charles Manson, you know, the Altamont Rolling Stones concert, where the guy stabs, and he's like, and the bottom falls out, and then you're just like falls like headfirst into the bleakness of the 70s.
Yeah,
I think it's a really interesting transition.
Yeah, moon landings in '69 as well.
Yeah.
We didn't land on the moon.
No, but Kubrick did a great job of filming.
He did.
But have you ever read any? Because I do think there's I feel about conspiracy this kind of the same way I do about like horoscopes and astrology as well. Where like even if I don't know how much I invest in it, but I do think it's interesting.
Yeah,
and I think there's some kind of like it's just fascinating about it. Like, have you ever read any like Thomas Pynchon?
A little bit, quite a bit, haven't you?
Because I really like how he sort of explores paranoia and conspiracy and sort of weaves that into his work, and sort of often shows it as something quite like mundane.
Yeah. I mean, there's always been conspiracies. There's always been directed thought. An interesting one is we have the Roaring Twenties. The 1920s was this idea, you know, it was flappers and it was speakeasies, and it was all this, you know, decadence, and everybody was like, you know, the bee's knees and the cat's pajamas. Everything was groovy and cool. Well, the reason that it's like that is because that was the rise of communism amongst the working class, and they want to get away from the fact that it was really miserable. I mean, the Great Depression happens after the 1920s. Do you know what I mean? But it was all sort of swept under the carpet with like, hey, look, there's Marlene Dietrich in a business suit, and she looks amazing. But then my point is that it was all a distraction, you know, and that's all government led or led by invested parties, but not necessarily the government.
Yep. We just be thankful we live in such politically stable times now.
But I guess that's like interesting, because that's like, I guess when they're billing, that's at the start of Hollywood. So it's like moving from like, you know, the silent era into the talkie era, and it's being billed as the dream factory. So I guess like, if you're living through a depression where your fucking life is falling apart, there is a place where no matter where you come from, you can blossom into an angel. You can like live in infamy. And I also think that's why Hollywood is struggling now, because the dream factory element of movie making is gone.
Yeah.
Like we live in an age of nepo babies, dynasties. So like,
and no one's pretty. I know this sounds like I'm being really horrible, but no one's pretty. But Nathan isn't leading a Hollywood movie.
Yes.
You should, by the way.
Yet.
I will be playing Snow White in the reboot. It's coming
Oh
back.
my God! Well, you'd be a better casting than. Sorry.
But I think that's a good point. I think studios are forcing stars down people's throats without giving them, without letting them sort of like test themselves first.
Yeah.
Like Rachel Ziegler, perfectly fine actress, but Hollywood's going like, you need to love her. She's fit as fuck. Like she is the one. Give her some indie movies. Don't just put her in a movie straight away.
Yeah.
Let us fall in love with her.
Yeah.
It's an arranged
Dedicate
marriage.
used to being on the scene rather than just randomly tweeting about stuff that's going to tank your own film.
100%.
Yeah.
Like Jenna Ortega, I think, has done that a little bit. I really am excited about the next Jenna Ortega movie. She's in a load of movies that I really liked. The Scream franchise, I really loved her. She's in X, and she's really excellent. She's not the main character in that. So there are people that are sort of coming through, but like Rachel Zegler, no, she's not a star. She'll never be a star. Please go away. No one's bought tickets to Evita. I have because I'm gay. But the point, but like
you have to.
and I have to. I have to. But I'll be sitting there going, Madonna's better. And then Patti LuPone will hit me over the back of the head. And if you're gay, you understand what I'm talking about. If you're not, that's...
I get the reference. Talking in the movie, talking in the theatre.
Anyway,
I'm an
Stevie
ally.
Wonder.
Stevie Wonder.
Stevie Wonder. Nathan, Stevie fan?
Weirdly, kind of no. I don't dislike him.
Yeah.
I don't dislike him at all. But he's just never really been my thing. I do intend at some point, maybe this year I'll do it, just to sit down and like just put a bunch of Stevie on rotation.
Yeah.
Because he's like one of those great artists that I've just never really spent much time with.
I had the same experience. I worked with a guy who was really into Motown, and I like Diana Ross. I know, gay, right? Anyway, my point is, he gave me it was a CD. Do you remember CDs? He gave me a double CD of Stevie Wonder's greatest hits.
I had that album. That's what got me into Stevie.
and there isn't like. It's just it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. His voice, his writing, like, I mean, Superstition, you kind of know that. Even this tacky 80s stuff, I call to say I love you, is such a beautiful love song. Happy Birthday, that's not a happy birthday song. I sing that to I always sing that to my family when it's their birthday. Happy birthday to you. But it's about Martin Luther King and getting his Martin Luther King Day. Like, he did that. He was political. He's amazing. I'm sorry, I love Stevie Wonder, but get on eBay the DVD, CD, double CD, and just listen, and you will love him, because that's how good he is. He's just like, he's like the Beatles. He's like Madonna. He's like Cher. He's like the Rolling Stones.
In that he can see.
And then that he can say.
Now you're thinking on the right lines.
Essential.
Stevie Wonder, the legendary American singer, songwriter, and multi-instrumentalist, has been blind since shortly after his birth due to retinopathy of prematurity, a condition linked to a premature birth. Despite this, a persistent conspiracy theory has circulated for years, suggesting that Stevie Wonder is not actually blind. The theory raises interesting questions about celebrity culture perception and the public's fascination with deception. So this actually is relatively new in the sense that Stevie's been around since 70s, I think, or he's been a big star since the 70s, but it's only
1959.
Sorry?
When he was little Stevie Wonder.
Little Stevie Wonder, okay. Yeah. But I suppose this particular conspiracy has only really been around since about 2010. I think people...
YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube, basically. YouTube has kind of fueled this. So the theory that Stevie Wonder can see stems from a mix of viral video clips, celebrity anecdotes, and misinterpreted behaviours. While lacking credible proof, believers point to a growing list of moments they believe are suspicious. The most famous moment was a televised event in 2010, which was called In Performance at the White House with Paul McCartney, where McCartney was being honoured with the Library of Congress Gershwin Prize for Popular Song. The moment happened during the finale when a group of legendary musicians, including Stevie Wonder, Paul McCartney, and others, took the stage for a performance of Hey Jude. In the clip, as the group sways and claps along to the outro, McCartney moves across the stage and accidentally bumps into a microphone stand, knocking off balance. Stevie Wonder, standing nearby, appears to reach out and instinctively catch the falling stand before it hits the floor.
Case closed.
We are done. Thanks for listening.
Maybe he has like echolocation. Maybe. It's like, I think more than even believing this, I just want it to be true.
Yeah.
So much. It's like, have you ever seen The Prestige?
Yes.
Yes.
You know how like Christian has to commit, like a great magician commits their life to The Prestige.
Yep.
And this is Stevie's Prestige.
Yes.
Like, he would be my number one artist.
Yeah.
If that was his final, like in his deathbed, it's like, by the way, BT Dubs. I can see this entire time. Just flatline, like icon.
Just Flatline and Superstition playing, just wonderful. I mean, it is quite an incredible video. This so Paul McCartney is essentially skipping across the stage, and all the big artists are like they're facing forward and they're clapping along. Stevie's doing his head movement thing, and as Paul McCartney sort of goes past him, he knocks the mic stand, and Stevie doesn't even like break the direction he's facing. Yeah, he just grabs the stand instinctively like that, and to his left, and then just pulls it back up. It is amazing. Like, it's just incredible. You've seen it, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah, it's quite incredible.
It's noisy on, like, people can't hear each other. I guess if you're on like a stage together, it's quite tricky.
Yeah.
So like, I'd like to think like, oh, maybe you heard it, but would you hear that?
You can feel it.
Quite noisy.
You know, and if, you know.
I mean, he's been on. He's going to feel at home on a stage. I mean, but also I think it could be like, you know, when like a serial killer has been going on for so long, and the cops are none the wiser, and they're like
Garth Brooks, allegedly.
Is Garth, who's he meant to be?
Garth Brooks is a serial killer.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But that's Tom Segura talks about that in his
right,
podcast. But like he's had a cease and desist letter. But yeah, like Garth Brooks is a serial killer. Allegedly.
That's canon.
Yeah.
But you know, you get sloppy. You get intentionally sloppy because you want the game to be a little bit harder.
Yeah.
You know, if you're playing a video game and it becomes easy, you take it up a level. And that's like Stevie is getting he's getting sloppy.
Yeah.
It's like Walter White leaves of grass in his toilet. Like he's sloppy. He wants to get caught.
So, because at this point, for 2010, he's had 40, 50 years at the top, and he's kept up this facade for that long, and then one little moment undoes him, and maybe it's the internet era that will undo him.
Yeah.
I mean, like Shaka Khan has said repeatedly, you know, the great singer Shaka Khan has said that Stevie Wonder can see. Like she said that. And I think Dave Chappelle says it as well.
Yeah,
I have that wrong.
I think Chappelle said that. I mean, he's also said some other things that maybe like
he has
making a less reputable source.
Yeah,
but I think that
almost like he's courting controversy. Who's to say?
I think the only way to test it, if I was in a room with Stevie Wonder, say hypothetical, I have been honoured by being invited to host an award at the Brit Awards. Stevie Wonder is front row. If you think I'm not going to dash a Sat Screamer at him, just see if he sticks and he lets it hit him, I won't be fully sold.
Yeah,
but I'd be like, I'd admire his commitment to the bit.
Yeah. So you're in it for the artistry. You're in it for the performance.
I respect it. I respect the game. I think
as a filmmaker, you're like you recognize a great performance.
100%.
Yeah.
This is like Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah.
Like it's just full commitment, and I like people who give themselves entirely to their art. Like Stevie Wonder's like Maria Abramovich or Gilbert and George. Like he is just fully existing in this thing. Or Bowie, like this is. He's taken on the character, or like Andy. Who's that character that
Andy Kaufman?
Andy Kaufman played. Who's Tony?
Tony Clifton.
Tony Clifton.
Yes. Yeah. Commit to the bit.
100%. He's in.
Yeah. Andy Kaufman, of course, who we all know is still alive. So to many viewers, the moment was unremarkable until it was slowed down, replayed and dissected on social media. In slow footage, it appears as though Stevie reacts almost instantaneously, reaching out precisely at the right moment and grabbing his stand with surprising accuracy. For those already inclined to question his blindness, this seemed like the smoking gun. How could someone who is blind have such precise awareness of an object falling beside him? The moment's become a cornerstone of the conspiracy theory and is often referenced in blog posts, YouTube breakdowns, Reddit threads, and TikTok videos with titles like "Proof Stevie Wonder Isn't Blind" or "How Did Stevie Know?" Viewers comment with speculation claiming the reaction was too perfect, or that the only explanation must be that Stevie saw the stand falling. It's fair to say, I suppose, that pre-internet age, this probably happened a lot, right? There would be moments like this in his career that just weren't caught on video, or if they were, the quality of the video wasn't enough for it to be able to be clipped up.
Like him driving or something.
Yeah, exactly.
There's like, old like footage of like the JFK assassination of him like in a theater watching Flubber. Like, why is he here? He's having a great time. His head's rolling back. He's like Max Cady. He's loving it
with a cigar. Back when you could smoke in auditoriums.
Yeah. There are several logical explanations that people cite. So sound cues. A falling microphone stand is not silent. It makes noise as it begins to topple, especially if it is brushed or knocked by someone, as it was by McCartney. As a world-class musician and performer, Stevie Wonder has extraordinary acute hearing and is likely highly sensitive to the sounds of objects shifting nearby.
Yeah. Also, when you're blind, it doesn't mean that you can't see anything. It's like you're being blind. You can maybe see light and darkness, or you can see or see
falling mic stands.
Falling mic stands.
It's also got sunglasses on, so that's going to make it harder.
Good point.
Although in this one, you can see his eyes, can't you? The sunglasses.
No,
are kind of
he's
dead.
got sunglasses on.
He's got the sunglasses. Because I mean, if you see, I mean, he had when he was a wee baba, he was in an oxygen tank as a wee child, and they overdid the oxygen, so his retina's detached, so he wasn't born blind.
Oh my god!
Yeah, he was mistreated.
Yeah,
so he has no retinas. So that's gruesome.
And that's actually what the song "Happy Birthday" is about.
Or isn't she lovely? Yeah.
Stage awareness. Wonder has spent his entire life performing on stages. Many blind individuals use spatial memory to map out their environment, especially when they are familiar with the routine. On a stage where positions are rehearsed and choreographed, he would be highly aware of where people and objects are located. Yeah. I mean, like you said, basically, you would know this. Although in this particular instance, where it's not his particular concert, he's performing as part of someone else's tribute. I'm not sure you would have the same. You'd be aware of being on stage. You'd have some spatial awareness on that, but it's not your stage.
I mean, I dare say he was rehearsed, even just that day, and he would have known that he would have been told your microphone is here, and just been aware of it. So, also he's professional. He's Stevie Wonder. Like, I mean, the man can channel music like no one else. You know.
Yeah, any stage he's on is his stage.
Yeah. It's like Prince. Any guitar he owns, it's his. Like it just, these are great men.
What if McCartney was in on it?
What if it's not even the original McCartney?
Well, it probably isn't.
Yeah. So it's the imposter McCartney.
It is Billy Shears. Skipping across the stage. Billy Shears and Stevie Wonder have concocted this idea to get a bit of viral attention. That's genius.
Yeah, or they're trying to out each other. Like two undercover spies.
Yeah.
Like they need to. There's something going on.
Yeah,
Like when traitors betray each other in the Traitors.
Spy versus spy.
Yeah, something's going on.
Lovely. Billy's going to Stevie. You out me, I'll out you.
Yeah. You're blind. You're not Paul McCartney. Fuck. Stalemate.
Tupac's watching from the wings.
Yeah.
Like, just trying to keep his head low.
He is. Theater kid, Tupac.
Don't ruffle feathers.
No.
Vibrations and proximity. The physical movement of the stand combined with the air shifting and subtle variations on a resonant stage platform could have been enough to alert someone as spatially sensitive as Wonder. There's also the possibility that it was lucky. Instinctual reaction. People, even those with sight, can instinctively react to shifts in their environment.
I can't play sport, but like...
Yeah, no, me neither. I'd be screwed.
Well, we're comedians. Comedians can't play sport. That's generally...
I'm terrible. I do like sports outfits, though. But that's different.
Like what?
God, I love a rugby outfit.
That was your earliest form of porn back in the 90s.
It absolutely was. For me, a guy in a rugby outfit is basically him in lingerie. It's the same. Those tight shorts.
Thank God for the internet. It's also worth noting that Stevie's hand doesn't shoot out like Spider-Man catching something across the room. He reached out calmly, and the motion doesn't seem overly miraculous when viewed in real time. But with many conspiracy theories, the drama and meaning assigned to the event increase with each retelling, especially when they're accompanied by slow motion and ominous music in internet videos. I mean, you know about drama. I guess that is going to add to it, isn't it? If you're slowing it down, putting some mysterious music behind it.
Yeah, I mean, you can compromise anything that way. Like you can just show someone footage of someone doing stand up and slow it down and put ominous footage. You're like, that person's just been Me Too'd. Clearly, they're a problem.
Absolutely. And to be fair, if it's a comedian, it probably has.
And they probably have.
Yeah. I mean, it's just
at least pending.
At least pending. God.
It is wonderfully calm, actually, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
the way that he does it.
It's incidental.
It's incidental. It's so innocuous. There's no big deal about it at all, is there? It's quite beautiful.
I just think he was a bit lucky to catch it, because as it gets close to him, it would have hit him, and you become aware that you do have not a field around you. I'm not making it sci-fi, but you do kind of feel things coming towards you. You know,
I want to see like the montage, and maybe like he does that all the time, and it's the first time it's ever actually worked. His punch is going like, and it's the first time it's landed. Everyone's like, he can see.
Yeah,
like every set, if you watch him closely,
it always draws.
just the air.
Yeah. Maybe Billy's the only one that got it right. Yeah. He's tried it with every other music.
I mean, Billy survived for so long.
Billy survived. Yeah, Billy survived.
I think that is the one category of conspiracy that I do like not believe at all. People surviving, people faking their own death, with the exception of Nazis. But I think like McCartney, like Tupac, like all those things. I think that's the one where I'm like, I don't buy it at all. I don't think that fun. Like Elvis is still alive. It's like,
well, Elvis is not still alive now, but like there is a good chance that because he was a CIA operative. You're both looking at me like I'm the creator. Yeah. That's the reason why they say he survived. Also, because the way he died is so humiliating.
Yeah,
it's better to think that there was a whole construction around it, you know. And I quite like the idea of CIA Elvis.
but then where would he go when you're the most famous person in the world? Where could you possibly go?
Well, you know,
Rumours like went home.
Yeah,
went back to Graceland and pretended to be his gardener.
Yes, that was
Yeah.
the
We've done an episode on it.
Yeah.
Really,
That's genuinely a theory that he went back and pretended to be his own gardener.
Why is who's this new gardener? He keeps thrusting.
I mean,
I don't know, but boy, can that man sing.
you know, and there were like what was his daughter who died called? Lisa Marie. So Lisa Marie, but there was a book around the mid-90s called I Am Lisa Marie, where a woman who kind of looks like Lisa Marie Presley is saying she's actually Lisa Marie Presley and she's been swapped out. I haven't been able to get it online. I'm desperately looking for it.
Oh, wow.
Because like now that we've lost Lisa Marie, we've got a spare. But yeah, it was called I Am Lisa Marie, and it was a real thing. And there was just this idea that you know, we are replacements. But I have to agree with you, you know, like why go to such lengths? Because you can just pull away from the public eye. You know, like the three of us, none of us are famous. And you look at all you have done.
Not yet, but
Not yet.
when that script gets out there.
But I will fake my own death.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. That's the thing. If you go into my tomb to get my criterions, you'll just see fake skeleton.
Who would you have replacing you?
Who would I have? I think I would. I'd go to a small island somewhere and search for my doppelganger.
Yeah.
And I'd sort of just keep him on deck.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd like that you're going to a small island, somewhere with a small population to find a doppelganger.
So they won't be able to they won't know.
Fair.
I'll also clear out. No. Dead people can't sell secrets.
Yeah.
No.
Fully believe that. So a small island, find my doppelganger, slaughter everyone there, and then come back and just keep him on deck. Yeah.
Nice.
But you don't even need to do that. Like when Hitler's skull turned out to be a woman, you know, you know, like you don't need to be that careful, you know, just so whatever skull you find, like you probably get one from medical supplies.
Yeah, it's true.
It would be mad to be on holiday and just sit and be like, guys, I know I've been drinking all day and it's hot, but I'm convinced that old man is Hitler. I'm convinced that old man. What, that old guy eating a Solero? I'm convinced he's the Führer. Like, Adolf, see if he turns around. Do you turn around? Like, what would you do if you saw an old man in Argentina and you were convinced he was Hitler? Would you take him down?
I think people have. I think Hitler survived World War II.
You'd go. I mean, if you were,
I think that's the one I do think he probably did. Yeah. I think they took the rat lines and they all got out.
Yeah, they all got
too
out.
Clean.
And then also, there's all those German cities in Central America and South America. Like,
Yep.
why? Because they were building. They knew they had their out.
No coincidence.
No coincidence.
Also, you'd go somewhere hot, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You'd go somewhere nice.
Yeah.
Well, after after doing Edinburgh, when you've done a big job, you want to have a nice little holiday.
Absolutely, exactly, and that's how he compares it. So another story frequently repeated comes from basketball legend Shaquille O'Neal. In an interview, Shaq recorded getting on an elevator with Wonder in his building. According to Shaq, Stevie turned and said, "What's up, Shaq?" without anyone announcing his presence. While this anecdote has been retold as if it's damning, it's entirely plausible Stevie recognised Shaq's distinct voice or was informed performed by an assistant moments earlier.
I think that one holds less water because I think you'd know if Shaquille O'Neal got on shore.
Shaq is big.
Yeah, you're gonna feel that dip.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You're gonna feel his heavy breathing.
Yeah.
Oh, Stevie. You're gonna know.
But if he hasn't spoken, I don't know.
No, but you feel someone's energy.
You feel Shaq's energy.
I imagine he smells wonderful as well.
I bet he does.
I got a good
bet he
scent.
does. Yeah.
Recognize their scent.
I think that's fundamentally what's most interesting about this conspiracy, and I think what it really reflects in kind of a scary way is that we are now at a point in reality where everything is up for grabs.
Yeah.
And I think we're at a point where like no one can really buy anything.
Mm-hmm.
So at a point where it's happened around like it sort of became big around the pandemic time, right?
Yep.
All looking at our screens and we're just like, motherfucker, you can see. Like we don't believe anything, and it's the tricky thing is there was a point where like that was born of paranoia, but now it's like kind of legitimate because we're dealing with like AI. You're looking through social media, people are using filters. No one really. My thing when I start to get like jealous of when the algorithm starts working on me, I have to be like, none of these people look like this. They either are not real. They've got filters on, and these aren't their homes. They're renting properties to do material. So I think this sense of like not being able to trust anything.
It's all manufactured and it's all perfected and CGI'd and AI'd and
yeah, and it's just going to continue now. I think that was almost like the.
But you not get to think, or you'll get to a point where okay, right now we can just about see through it. We can work out if something is fake. There's a certain aesthetic that we can recognize it's AI. But very soon it'll get to a point where that will be very difficult to differentiate between that and actual real life.
I think we're going to have to find a way to you legally have to say. It's like putting if something's vegetarian on like food product. Yeah, we're gonna because it's gonna be impossible to detect within like 10 years. Yeah, none of us are gonna know. Yeah, and it's all.
I mean, I love old Hollywood. I'm a big Joan Crawford fan. I'm a big Marilyn Monroe fan. And the amount of photographs that suddenly have appeared now, you know, particularly nudes of Marilyn Monroe. Like Marilyn Monroe did pose nude. She's the first Playboy centerfold, and she looked amazing. But the pictures that now exist, like they aren't real. The pictures of Joan Crawford that
they sound horrible, but email them to me anyway. I just so I can have a look.
Just so
I
you
can
can
just
check
touch and be like, oh, this is horrible.
No, you're right. There's also if it will help for your film podcast. Just research. Yet another curious moment came during a Saturday Night Live rehearsal when Stevie Wonder was photographed holding a camera up to his face. Although likely done as a joke, this image was circulated widely online, often without context, suggesting that someone who is blind would have no reason to handle a camera in that way. In fact, many blind people use cameras to take pictures they later share with others or use with apps that describe images.
I think the only way to determine whether this is evidence of him being blind or not is we have to see the photo.
Yeah.
If it's like the whole cast, like, then you can see.
Yeah.
If it's just like his thumb over it, like blurred, then okay, fair play, Stevie.
Good point. That's good thinking there.
See the photo, release the files.
yes,
that's what I want to see. I want to see that more than the Epstein list. I want to see that photo.
because we know who's on the Epstein list.
Yeah, that's actually true.
We know.
It's not a surprise. Yeah. Stevie's photos.
Well,
that's the real mystery.
I also think that with the Epstein list, the one, you know, what they kind of did release that little segment, that was just all red herrings.
Yeah.
So people were like,
absolutely.
oh, Kate Blanchett. It's like, well, Kate Blanchett clearly wasn't like doing that stuff, was she? Like, Tar wasn't like railing people.
Imagine if Blanchett was the ringleader.
That would be great.
That would be amazing. What a story that would be. We all thought it was Bill Clinton. We thought it was Trump.
It was Blanchett.
It just was Blanchett all along.
Yeah, she's there like, I will be a powerful queen.
She is a powerful queen. Sorry, I just love Kate Blanchett.
Incredible. So there's a few other examples. Lionel Richie's piano story. In a 2016 interview, Lionel Richie claimed that Stevie once walked into his house, sat down at the piano and started playing without assistance. How did you know where the piano was? Richie
How did he get in?
Exactly. Another good point. Of course, if Wonder had been there before or was directed towards an instrument, it wouldn't be miraculous. Yet it's often repeated as if it was definitive proof. But the fact is, why would Richie have said it because he would know if Stevie Wonder's been to his house, right?
Not necessarily. The cocaine's a hell of a drug.
That's true.
You just find beads, like around hair beads.
Yeah, fair point. Standing at a window. There's an old anecdote about Stevie Wonder allegedly standing and looking out of a hotel window in New York. Someone remarked, "What are you doing, Stevie?" And he allegedly responded, "Just taking in the view." This story has been told and retold in various forms, although always secondhand. It is likely a joke or misunderstanding. Still, conspiracy theories latch onto it. If that is Stevie Wonder bands, that's strong bands.
That's a good bit.
Yeah.
That's a good bit. I think he's probably got a lot of bits like that up his sleeve.
I bet he has.
Yeah.
He'd be a great, if this is his bands, he'd be a great stand-up.
He'd be good. I'd like to see him on Would I Lie to You?
Yeah.
I think it'd be great.
Yes, he would.
I can see. Is it a lie? Is it true?
If that's how it comes out, that is unbelievable.
Oh, that'd be great. I'd like to see David Mitchell on a rant. Like, he can obviously see. Lee Mack throwing a Satsuma at him. It'd be brilliant.
Driving a car on Carpool Karaoke. In a famous episode of James Corden's Carpool Karaoke, Stevie Wonder pretends to drive a car.
He loves these bits.
Yeah,
He's really leaning into
really
I can see
lean into
bits.
it, doesn't he? Although it wasn't proven that Carpool Karaoke, no one was ever driving in Carpool Karaoke.
no,
It was
they
on
could,
the trailer anyway, right?
It was
Yeah.
it wasn't real.
Yeah.
Because that'd be insane. Because otherwise you'd see like James Corden in a car with Ariana Grande being like, "Get the fuck out of that way!" Like people would walk in front of him. Like it'd be chaos.
Here's a question for you: would you rather get in a car with Stevie Wonder driving or James Corden?
Stevie Wonder every single
yeah,
time.
Yeah.
Stevie Wonder, like already parked on the lip of a cliff.
Yeah.
Like I'm not being in that car with James Corden.
No, he's vile.
Yeah. If he started singing, I would grab the wheel and just take us both out. I'm out.
And if that's the way you got to go, it's the way you got to go. If it just means you have to avoid that trip with Corden.
I'm out. Although potentially future mayor of London. I saw an article this week saying he's going to run for mayor of London.
Corden?
Yeah. Or he's considering it because now he's back.
Wow. Okay.
Why is he back? Because his show wasn't a success, even though he was given the keys to the kingdom and he was horrible to everybody. He did a whole Ellen, allegedly.
Yeah. But was it not a success? I mean, is any late night show a success?
I think it was a success. I think
Carpool Karaoke was, but he definitely like he's the
Dipped
the
off.
end of that. Yeah.
Yeah, but aren't like isn't what's one of the Jimmys is a bit of a dick as well, isn't he?
Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
Jimmy.
he
The other
supposed to
Jimmy.
be?
Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Isn't it Fallon?
No, I think Fallon's the one who's supposed to be like
He's an alcoholic.
mean to his and mean to his staff.
So that's really like I think apparently like the conspiracy like he often like breaks his wrist and I think it's like brewski tumbles. I think it's like
really?
like yeah.
Okay, like
He
fair
does
enough.
look like an alcoholic. He's got that puffed look.
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
again,
Yeah.
I have that puffed look and I don't drink alcohol. I'm just Irish and Middle
I find
East.
Fallon really irritating.
Yeah, excruciating.
Really, like just the laugh at every single thing. It's like that wasn't funny. What are you doing,
Yeah.
man?
Yet he gave the best audition for Saturday Night Live ever, according to Lorne Michaels. Mm-hmm. So the first time he auditioned, he didn't do well, and he went away and came back a year later, and Lorne Michaels was blown away by him, and that's how he got on Saturday Night Live and how his career started, because that's all he wanted to do.
Interesting. It's weird. That's the second time I've heard someone talk about that audition recently.
Yeah, well, that's because they're doing the British Saturday Night Live, and I'm not going to be on it. Because that's
never
always
know.
You never know.
it's always been my dream, Saturday Night
Really?
Live. Yeah. But it was like, oh well, it'll never happen. And now there's a British one, and I tried to get the how do you submit a tape, and everyone said, yeah, I've got the address, and then no one came back to me. When you bastards.
The thing is, right, we're probably going to know people that are going to be on Saturday
absolutely.
Night Live, right? And the thing is, every attempt at making Saturday Night Live in Britain has failed over the years, but this time it's different because it's like, oh, we don't want it to fail because it's people you know.
Yeah.
Well, I did tape for it, but now I fear I'm going to get Shane Gillis, and they're like, "You got it, but we've heard you saying some disparaging things about little Stevie Wonder on the podcast."
It's very ableist.
I have to go on Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
When I was talking about it, I shouldn't be saying this. I thought, who'd be good for Saturday Night Live? You. That's how you came up in the conversation.
You could be the
Went
next
on
Jimmy
show.
Fallon. That could be you.
Yeah, I could be like annoying and just laugh at the time.
and
I do it for
develop-
free right now.
So Stevie Wonder at art exhibits. Some point to photos of Wonder at visual art exhibits or museums are suspicious. However, many exhibitions are multi-sensory or accessible for blind visitors, and Stevie has long advocated for accessible experiences in the arts. Nonetheless, the visual assumption persists.
There's plenty of art that's for all the senses.
Yeah, I don't think that checks out. That feels like an ableist one.
Would agree with that. This one, though, using an iPhone. In a few interviews and casual photos, Stevie Wonder has been spotted holding and seemingly interacting with an iPhone. Detractors question how someone blind could use a touchscreen, unaware that iPhones come with built-in accessibility features like VoiceOver.
Yeah.
Again, I need to see the screen. Is he looking at is he looking at porn?
Yeah.
If he's looking at porn, then like my boy can see. But if it's like just an article, then yeah, that'll be being read. I assume that he was probably looking at pictures of buxom women.
Yeah.
I know that's what I would be doing.
Yeah. Like of
Or listen to audio descriptions of buxom women.
yeah. She has big bosoms. I imagine Stevie Wonder would be sat in a departure lounge looking at pictures of Pam Grier from the 70s. Like zooming in as well.
Yeah.
Just like, yeah.
That's a wonderful image.
Oh,
Mm,
she's
beautiful.
wonderful, Pam Grier.
Pam Grier's fantastic.
And that's what he's saying to himself. Just, oh, she's wonderful. She is fantastic.
The thing is, in his memory, because Pam Grier, like, that'll be the memory that he has, right? Do you know what I mean? Like how she's described in the 70s. That'll never change because you can't see Pam Grier now.
I mean, there's a Joan Crawford movie called Torch Song, which is probably one of the last examples of blackface in a movie. There's a whole debate about it, but the whole storyline is Joan Crawford's playing an aging chanteuse, and the man that she falls in love with is a blind man that remembers her as a young, beautiful woman, which she's arguably aging away from, and it's that sort of egotistical thing that she will only be with someone who remembers her at her best. Like it's a heck of a movie, but yeah, that the idea that Stevie Wonder remembers her at her height. I quite like that, but I mean, Pam Grier's gorgeous now.
Yeah.
You know, after Jackie Brown, I don't understand why she wasn't in every movie.
She's incredible in
She was
Jackie Brown.
incredible.
Well, it didn't do well. I was saying it didn't do that well, even financially or critically. I think it's just not what people wanted. I think
No.
that's the thing.
Well, it was coming off Pulp Fiction, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like that high. I love it as a film. I think it's a great film.
I think it's a masterpiece. I think I'd argue it's one of his, if not maybe his best.
I would argue, if not one of his best.
Yeah,
his best.
It's so beautiful. It's his most moving.
Yeah.
It's absolutely devastating. So mature, like a perfect pace. But yeah, it's one of those things I think at the time people were just like, well, the Wunderkind has grown up and lost it.
Yeah.
In hindsight. And that's the problem, because I think like if it had got well reviewed and was received as like it is now, I think his career would have gone in like a really interesting direction.
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
Kill Bill was definitely here. Look, I'm doing all the fun stuff again, and
Yeah.
there's going to be a cartoon in it, and it's like all this. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love Kill Bill Volumes 1 and 2. I absolutely adore them. And I hated Jackie Brown when I saw it in the cinema, like to a strong degree. And now I look back and go, "Oh, child! Like that was a masterpiece." I loved Bridget Fonda in that film, and I loved Pam Grier.
She's great.
She's so good.
Yeah.
Louis.
Yeah.
That's my favorite De Niro role.
Really?
Yeah, because he's not De Niro; he's playing that character.
He is great.
Yeah.
Actually, he's great. Yeah.
So in it.
Yeah. Like
Before he gave up completely.
before he gave up completely. But every time I see De Niro in a role, see, one of the first movies I ever saw De Niro in was Bram Stoker's, or not Bram Stoker, Kenneth Branagh's Frankenstein. And
wow.
So it's so bad. So, but I'm not a huge De Niro fan, although I do love Once Upon a Time in America. But I love him in Jackie Brown, because it's not De Niro, it's that guy. He's Lewis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
But I think that's interesting. So I think I would compare Jackie Brown to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, in that, like, similarly, I didn't hate Jackie Brown, but I was like, oh, I like it, but I didn't recognize it as a masterpiece. But I hated Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Interesting.
I completely misread it.
Yeah.
I was like, this is quite right wing. It's like anti-hippie. And then like second, I read the book, then rewatched it. I was like, oh, it's a joke.
Yeah.
The whole thing is
Yeah.
it's a setup to like a punchline. The motherfuckers went to the wrong house.
Yeah.
They went to the worst house they possibly could have gone to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Love
I
that.
wish that had actually happened.
Oh, that is so great.
Rewriting history.
Rewriting history. Well, he does that. He does that well.
Yeah.
You know, like Inglourious Bastards. You know, that I still to this day, when they do what they do at the end, was like, oh, okay, this is where we are. I did not expect this. You know. But the whole Shoshana thing was my favorite part of it, and I actually wish they just focused on that, because I think she gets that closing shot of her is amazing. Anyway, sorry, because it's a movie podcast.
I know, it's such a movie brain. Facial expressions and eye movement. Some observers have claimed that Stevie Wonder reacts too naturally in interviews, or seems to make eye contact during conversations. These claims misunderstand how blind people could often train themselves to face speakers, or use muscle memory and auto cues to engage in socially expected ways.
Yeah, like I also aren't we hardwired for smiling and stuff?
Yeah.
You know,
Which he does a lot.
He
Yeah.
loves to smile.
He's a big smiler.
He's a big smiler.
Yeah.
Okay, but he's lovely.
He's like the Cheshire Cat.
He is like the Cheshire
I
Cat.
don't think I've ever seen him not smile.
No, he's smiling when he's playing. He's smiling when he's singing.
Yeah.
You know, but
That's a hard trick to pull off.
yeah, but he's just such a great singer. His voice is amazing. His songwriting is amazing.
I mean, if I had Stevie Wonder's life, I think I'd be smiling all the time because everybody loves you. You're playing the piano. I don't know what his love life was like, but I imagine,
He was a player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He
Yeah.
big shagger.
Oh yeah. Like he put it about.
I'd be smiling from noon until dark, from noon till night. And I would say from noon till night because you live like Stevie Wonder, so you don't have to get up till noon.
Good point.
It's ideal.
Good point.
He lives the perfect life.
He has got a wonderful life. Psychological and social factors. The persistence of this theory can be attributed to the human tendency to question what seems extraordinary or difficult to believe. There's a particular cultural intrigue in exposing what might have been seen as a lie, especially when it involves a powerful or famous figure. In this case, there's also an element of ableism. Many people severely underestimate what blind individuals are capable of, assuming that any task requiring coordination or orientation must involve sight. I guess that's a fair point, isn't it? Really, that people do. We love this kind of conspiracy as a culture, don't we? We love to be like, we love it if something is proven to be something we believed our whole lives to be proven wrong. We love to be people on the inside. Oh, you know, definitely, you know, Hitler definitely moved to Argentina. Or this is one of those things that I know you could definitely. I mean, this is a ludicrous one, but it's that mindset, isn't it? Of like, no, I know something you don't know, and here's all the evidence as to why I know this.
We love to take down sacred cows, and also I think we have been proven right, sadly, about a lot of celebrities. Like the canonization of celebrities is done because we now live in an age where we realise that number one nice guy Bill Cosby was a monster. We realised that Diddy was a monster. Savile, all these people, like the idea of celebrity to a lot of people, I think, is seen as a charade used as a smokescreen for nefarious activities.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, I think the Epstein thing is probably the epitome of that, isn't it? It's the absolute tip of the iceberg there. Yeah.
That and the Imagine video that they sent around during COVID.
Oh my God.
I mean, that had the complete reverse effect that they thought they were having. And I do think it came from a positive place. I really do.
Yeah, they meant...
And then it was just like, I hate every one of you.
Oh, but I love, that's the best kind of backlash.
Yeah,
it does come from a positive place. Like the Katy Perry flight, the space flight. They're like, guys, this is for the girls. And everyone's like, we hate this. We hate this. We hate you. Stay in space.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Well, we did a Patreon episode. She might not have even gone to space.
Do you think they went?
No, Katy Perry. She just can't catch a break.
Hair's too perfect.
Like,
So the role of celebrity in humour. In various interviews, Stevie has addressed the theory with a smirk. In the 2017 appearance on the Late Late Show with James Corden, he fucking loves James Corden, when asked directly if he could see, Wonder playfully responded, "This year, I'm going to reveal the truth." The audience laughed and Stevie didn't elaborate further. He left it hanging, feeding the conspiracy with a wink rather than denial. You would play into it though, wouldn't you? Like if you knew this, you just fucking play it. And what I love about this is, right, so we did an episode on when Avril Lavigne was replaced. Actually, she was replaced twice, but anyway, when she's asked about it, she gets really irate about it, like really, really irritated about it, which, to be honest, in itself is quite funny. I love that he just leads into this. I love that, and Paul McCartney does the same thing about him being dead. It's great.
Because he is dead.
Yeah. So Billy leans into it.
Billy
Sorry.
leans into it.
But we just need to test. You know, like at the end of The Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
When what was like, he can walk. And like we just need a moment like that with Stevie Wonder. We just need definitive proof. Almost like what's that guy?
Kaiser Soze moment.
He takes off his glasses, he winks at the camera.
Good night, Seattle.
But who's it? When Geraldo Rivera opened Al Capone's tomb. Do you remember that? Not tomb, like his like old thing. There was like a big like televised event. Like we found like Al Capone's like secret like safe, and they opened it. Everyone watched it, and like nothing happened. It was just empty. It was a huge like dud.
Geraldo.
But I think we just need that. We need like everyone tune in. We're gonna test once and for all.
Yeah.
I could totally see Stevie Wonder, you know, flipping out the white contact lenses and going, Hey.
And here's Andy Kaufman.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah, I don't think it'd get backlash. I think people would be like, that's awesome.
Yeah, I agree. You'd be like, fair play to you, Stevie. You've literally pulled the wool over our eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then there'd be all the who else do we have that's famous and blind, or visually impaired?
It's true, actually. Yeah, of that caliber, that status, that global fame.
That is important,
Yeah.
So like, I mean, it would come at a price, is what I'm saying.
True. But I think every generation must have that. I'm sure there are people like Beethoven can hear. Like, I saw him clicking his fingers and like humming a song. Like, Beethoven can definitely hear.
Yeah,
always going to be
he
a
loves
thing.
a slick beat. Stevie's also made light of the rumor in private and public circles. For example, he once joked that he was going to get a driver's license just to mess with people. I've got this plan, he said. I'm going to get in a car, pull off, and see what people do. These quips are made in jest, but they keep the myth alive. When the subject of the rumor adds to it, even jokingly, it becomes harder for the public to distinguish humor from hidden truth. I mean, he, again, might be, excuse the pun, hiding in plain sight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, he should get a driver's license.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
That'd be awesome.
But I commit to the bit, like the photo, he's like backwards. Like,
Yeah. Beautiful. There's a couple of others. So Tony Bennett's car ride joke. So Tony Bennett once quipped that Stevie Wonder drove him to a performance. There's no evidence this ever happened, and it's an obvious joke. But once something is said by a public figure, it becomes part of the mythos repeated online without context. I mean, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that his mates just get involved.
yeah, it's a good bit.
It's great.
It's a great bit. This is actually, whether or not he can or cannot see, this is making me love Stevie Wonder.
Yeah.
He seems like a fun time.
You're now going to
affair.
go home and listen to that double album.
100%.
Yeah.
You will listen to every track and you will love every track.
I want to hear his bits. I want to hear him do more stand up. I want to see his hour. Great.
He's great. He's great in interviews, and because he
He is a great interviewer, isn't he?
Yeah,
He's
like-
so interesting and like just charismatic and
he made change. Like he was a civil rights person, and
Yeah.
like he made the world a better place, and not just with music. Although, oh my God, if it could just be with the music, but he really did do great things, and he continues to do great things.
He really does. Despite the ever-growing catalogue of stories and clips, there is no legitimate evidence that Stevie Wonder has faked his blindness. The conspiracy remains rooted in selective perception, poor understanding of blindness, and the internet's love of oddball theories. If anything, the idea is a kind of backhanded compliment. It testifies to how impressive Stevie Wonder's abilities are that people believe that he must be the result of sight. That is true, actually, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
How could a blind person
Yeah,
do
exactly,
this?
exactly.
It's
It is a
horrible.
huge compliment to him in many ways. Yeah. So the conspiracy theory that Stevie Wonder could see is less about uncovering truth and more about misunderstanding. It says more about how we view blindness than it does about Stevie Wonder. He has navigated the world and changed music history without the use of vision, a feat that could be seen as extraordinary, not suspicious. While the theory continues to entertain and circulate in pop culture, it should ultimately be retired out of respect for both Stevie and the millions of blind individuals whose capabilities are constantly underestimated. So,
That sounds like the man trying to suppress us. Let's just move on, guys. Let's
Right.
look elsewhere.
so Nathan, can Stevie Wonder see?
I don't think he can. I think he is blind, but I want to believe. I want to live in a world where he is pulling off the ultimate prestige.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. David?
He can't see, he is blind, but I love the idea. I love the idea that it's all a bluff.
I think we're in full agreement that if he's doing it, it's great bands and power to you, Stevie. Thank you for everything, including this.
Yeah.
Nathan, would you like to look at this cover? Tell me where they can find you, follow you, all that kind of stuff.
You can follow me online. I'm on Instagram at Nathan Darcy Roberts, all one word. Same for TikTok. I release reels infrequently. And listen to my podcast, There Will Be Film, with Stuart Laws and Heidi Regan.
Absolutely. Would you like a Stevie Wonder joke to end the podcast?
Please.
Normally, when we're searching through conspiracy theory jokes, it's quite hard. In this case, not a problem. There are literally millions of them. What do you call Stevie Wonder playing tennis?
What?
Endless Love.
That's good.
That's
Yeah.
lovely. That's lovely. Although he didn't sing that song, that was Diana Ross and like
That's the end of the podcast. Thanks for listening. Bye.
If you like the podcast and fancy extra episodes and early access every week, why not join our Patreon? Just £5 a month and you'll be helping support the pod. Remember, we love you. Bye.